bear with me now because there is kind of a lot of thoughts I have behind this, but what if the witness is not the bad guy in Destiny 2? Hello friends, I am Worm, and I wanted to answer this question, just kind of take a look at some stuff about the witness, and it's the penultimate bad guy of Destiny 2. It is the finale, it is, the final shape, so to speak, no pun intended there. It is the big bad, it is the darkness, it is what has been chasing us ever since Destiny launched way back in 2014. But is it actually the bad guy? And I'm gonna pose some just thoughts here. That's what this video is it's just thoughts on the witness and why I think that it's possible that maybe the witness isn't actually the bad guy, isn't the evil one. Now, antagonist, yes, it goes against what we are trying to do as Guardians, but is it truly a bad guy? We'll hopefully kind of just share some thoughts and let you develop your own opinion. But with that being said, I want to precurse this video by saying I'm not a super ultimate lore guru. I don't know every single bit of lore in Destiny 2. I have a great premise of the base lore of each of the factions, as well as the witness and its origins and stuff like that. But if there's some ambiguous lore notes that explain something that's maybe I contradict in what I say, please correct me in the comments, I don't mind. With that being said though, is the witness actually the bad guy? And I wanted to start this by going all the way back to Shadowkeep. And I know technically we could go before Shadowkeep, blah, 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 but with Shadowkeep, this is, to my knowledge, the first actual physical interaction we had with the witness, and it happened at the end of, I believe it was the Shadowkeep campaign, and there was this cutscene in the Black Garden, and the cutscene had our character talking to somebody, or not talking to somebody, but listening to somebody, and that somebody, it turns out, it looked just like our character, but it was the voice of the witness, and specifically, the witness said that they are not our friend, they are not our enemy, they are our salvation. And we're going to come back to that statement here in just a second. But of course, the witness is, we've been told by the Vanguard and by lore and stuff like that, that the witness is the bad guy. Because, it took away planets from us. It has enacted our ruin. It has been the ruin of various other worlds across the galaxy and stuff like that. But from what I recall about the lore, I don't think the witness itself has been the destruction. The witness has been the instrument to guide other races into destroying other worlds. But it all centers around one very specific thing that hovers in orbit above our lovely city. Well, it used to orbit above our lovely city, and that is the Traveler. The Traveler is the witness's primary goal, right? That is what the witness has talked about. We got a cutscene a couple seasons ago, or maybe it was last season, I don't really remember exactly when, but it explained the origins of the witness, and it explained, the witness talking to the Traveler. And the witness said, we've been looking for you all this time, now we can invoke the final shape. And we don't know what the final shape is, but it's referencing the Traveler. And this is important because going back to Shadowkeep here, the witness said it's not our friend, it's not our enemy, it's not our salvation. Now, a lot of people, I think they associate salvation with savior. And salvation and savior, while all saviors show enact salvation upon others, not all salvation is necessarily a savior. You could maybe twist it to look at it that way if you want, but the witness specifically says, we're not your friend, but we're also not your enemy. We are here for your salvation. And what is the definition of salvation? The definition of salvation is basically deliverance from ruin, plain and simple. It is trying to deliver us from ruin. It's trying to prevent us from being ruined. And I think that this is a very, very, there's a lot of open ends to this. This statement, this salvation, we are your salvation, we are your deliverance from ruin. And really, I ask myself, yes, it is after the Traveler. We obviously have been touched by the Traveler, we've been blessed by the Traveler, we have all these gifts of light and power, and yes, we fight against the darkness, and the darkness fights back. It does. But at the same time, why does the darkness fight back? Why does the witness fight back? These enemy factions, yes, you can tie them in to the witness, like the Shadow Legion, for example, but I think that there's some holes with each of these different factions. The Hive, for example. The Hive, they are somewhat, somewhat tied to the Witness and the Darkness and the Worm Gods. Rolk, who is a disciple of the Witness, is the one that basically created the Hive. But the Hive are still their own race. They don't necessarily serve the Witness. They kind of help enact the Witness's stuff, but they are not beholden unto the Witness specifically. Okay, it's Rolk and Callus, for example, would be beholden unto the Witness, and even then, we'll talk about those two in just a second. But even then, I don't necessarily think that these enemy factions are what the Witness wants. I think these are the Witness's foot soldiers. They're the Witness's foot soldiers. I'm gonna stop saying that. At any rate, the Hive, yes, we fight them. Same with the Taken. Same with all the enemy factions that we fight. And the reality is, war never changes. Great Fallout 4 quote for you there, but war never changes. In order to get something that you want, you have to fight for it, especially if people are willing to defend it. Now, we as humans, as the human race, Awokens, Exos, stuff like that, Guardians, I should say, not just humans, but Guardians, we defend the Traveler. And I don't really know why. The Traveler has given us these precious gifts, the gifts of light, but at the same time, we don't know the purpose that it gave us these gifts of light. And if we look at the Traveler's history, war and decay and death and ruin has followed the Traveler all throughout time. The Fallen, for example. The Fallen were a really, really powerful species. The Elixni, were a really powerful species. They had incredible technology. They still do have incredible technology. Like, they are technologically very, very advanced. The Traveler came to them, and then it left them. And it left them in ruins. Gaul, the reason Gaul wanted to invade Earth was to, basically trap the Traveler and try to take the Traveler's light because he felt that Cabal deserved it. Basic question, would any of this happen if the Traveler had never come to Earth? I don't think so. Imagine, the day that the Traveler came to Earth, which is way back, obviously before even Destiny 1 launched. In lore, it's 700, 800, 900 years ago, something like that. I can't exactly remember. But if the Traveler had skipped over Earth and went on to a different planet, would the Hive have followed? No. Would the Witness have followed? No. The Cabal followed? None of those would have come to Earth. And I think that the Witness's ultimate goal is to destroy the Traveler so that there is no more of this light versus darkness. I think that the Witness, who never specifically says that we are their enemy, in fact, they say we are not their enemy. Again, very important. They say we are not they are not our enemy. Of course, they are not our enemy. They say that, and they've never said anything to lead us to believe otherwise. Like, the Witness, to me, and Rolk, who is like the right-hand disciple of the Witness, they are very, very in control. Rolk, throughout the Vow of the Disciple raid, does never lie. He doesn't tell crazy stories. Like, he is, even though he's a bad guy and he's trying to kill us, he's an honest character. So I think the same thing is true with the Witness. The Witness will divulge its final shape plans, whatever that means, in due time. And then it's kind of going to be like, oh, I mean, is this such a bad thing? Like, yeah, like, oh, the destruction of the Traveler. Let's say that's what the Witness wants, is the destruction of the Traveler. Oh, that's horrible, that's awful, that's evil and bad and all this stuff. But at the same time, like, is it? I mean, yeah, maybe we could make an argument that now, yes, it is bad. It's bad because we have all these enemy factions in our solar system, and there's no way we can live in harmony with them. And if the Traveler is gone, we are kind of sitting ducks, because the reason we have continued to exist is because of Guardians and because of the light. So yeah, like, that would potentially be an issue. But I don't think the Witness was talking directly to humanity. I think when the Witness said, we are not your friend, we're not your enemy, we're your salvation, I think that was a more generalized statement to basically any existing species in the entire universe. Because the Witness wants to destroy the Traveler so that there is no war that follows it. The Traveler goes to a planet and then touches it and then leaves the planet in ruin. Because the Witness doesn't do that. Like, and we saw that with Titan, with Mars. Like, these were planets that were taken by the Black Fleet, by the pyramid ships, but we've been back to them and nothing's changed. It's not like they destroyed the planets. Titan, back in season, or I guess technically you can still access it, but with Season of the Deep, Titan still exists. We can still go there and do activities. Mars still exists that we can go to and do activities. And, you know, and this is not just for the reason of like, oh, we need a good new strike, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is in the lore. Sloane came back. Somehow the Witness let up its hold on Titan in Season of the Deep. And it was largely untouched. Like, there's still fish swimming around the ocean. There's still life on these planets. So the Witness obviously does not have the intention of destroying all life. And again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somewhere in the lore there, the Witness has said we want to destroy everything so there's no war, period, blah, blah, blah. But I don't necessarily think that's what its end goal is. I think that its end goal is to just simply destroy the Traveler so that there's no longer this Traveler goes from planet to planet and other races follow the Traveler from planet to planet. Because imagine, Traveler leaves humanity. What is humanity probably going to end up doing? Gonna follow the Traveler, just like the Fallen did. And humanity is going to bring war to another system and another group of planets, and the Traveler is going to touch them, and, you know, all of a sudden there's going to be a war between humanity because we feel like we deserve it because, you know, we had the power of the light, and then, you know, it went off and did something else. Like, I don't think humanity would just accept that the Traveler is gone and leave it at that. Like, they would probably want to follow it. And the Witness, I think, potentially wants to end that. The Witness wants to end that cycle. I don't know. There's a lot to process behind it. I don't think the Witness is a liar. I don't think that they're deceptive. I think that their intentions, if they tell us something, I think that that is their intention. And they've always addressed the Traveler. They've never said, we've been looking for you, as in humanity, to destroy you, humanity. It's always been about the Traveler. There you are. You've caused so much ruin talking to the Traveler. And really, the Traveler has been the cause of ruin. Like, yes, it gives life. I'm not saying that it doesn't, because like, it's given humanity the powers of the light. It has blessed, you know, our solar system with life and stuff like that, which is fantastic and wonderful. But at the same time, think of all the other systems that it's touched in the past, and war has followed it. The Hive have followed them, and the Hive have destroyed more worlds than I even know about. The Hive have destroyed entire civilizations because of the Traveler. And that's simple. And if the Traveler's gone, the Hive have nothing to chase. The Cabal have nothing to chase, which the Cabal are sort of our allies now. Same thing with the Elixir. Like, they're sort of becoming our allies. We're learning how to live in peace with them. But the Taken, you know, the Taken are a whole different thing. Like, that's with Oryx, that's not beholden unto the Witness or the Traveler or anything like that. They were beholden unto Oryx, and now that Oryx is gone, they're kind of looking for a new leadership, which we'll probably see something when the final shape comes of who their leader is. Probably going to end up being the Witness or something. But the Witness does not, like we fight against these enemy factions, and we fight against things like Tormentors, which Tormentors are, you know, creations of the Witness, because we are resistant. The Witness wants to end the Traveler. The Witness doesn't want to wipe out humanity, but if we stand in the Witness's way of the Traveler, then yes, they're going to contest it. Again, is the Witness the bad guy? I don't necessarily know. It's a similar sort of Thanos. Thanos from Infinity, or from the Marvel series, Marvel comics, Marvel movie series, all that stuff. If you don't want spoilers, I would suggest stopping now. But Thanos, his goal behind the Infinity Gauntlet and snapping people out of existence is because there's too much life in the universe and people are suffering because of that. So he snaps out all life across all the universe. Half of all life is just gone. And it's not for people who can pay, you know, the people who have more money survive. It is completely random. So, you know, everybody, you know, the best of people are snapped away and the worst of people are snapped away. The richest and the poorest snapped away. Like, it's completely random, because he wants to give the universe a chance to restart and give all life in the universe a chance to flourish, essentially. And that's kind of a similar thing that I think the Witness is going for. They want to destroy the Traveler to give a chance to flourish to all of the life throughout the universe. But anyways, with that being said, I don't know, like, I've kind of said everything I need to say. I want to hear your thoughts on it. What do you think about the Witness being the bad guy? Like, do you think that they're actually the bad guy? Like I said, antagonist, yes, but antagonist doesn't always mean bad guy. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Of course, if you liked today's video, drop a like, it helps the channel a lot. Subscribe for more daily Destiny content, and do me a favor, watch the videos you see on the end screen, because for whatever reason, YouTube thinks you'll like them. Guys, that's it for me, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye for now. you.